Alright guys, what's up? It's Gage. So, before I start to give you an update on my MLB deck, I'm going to be profiling that next. The only issue is as of now I'm waiting on a playset of Allen, so he's supposed to be coming between Thursday and Friday, so I'll probably have that deck profile out either late this week or next week. So anyway, I'm going to be starting a new series called Getting into Vanguard. And the first part of this, I'm going over how to choose your first deck. Not clan yet, because this going to be important, because that's going to be the next episode, and I feel this one should come first. Is then you can narrow your clan selection down, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. So, to begin, now the reason why I'm starting this is because I've had many people either asking questions like, what deck should I start with? I'm new to the game. I heard Luard is good. Should I build it? I heard that X deck is, really fun compared to this deck, so which one should I try? Or just getting asked in general, like, what deck should I start with? So I'm hoping this series of videos will help newer people in the game, that this can be something you can find and help you out. I'm pretty sure there's other videos that are way better than this, but as somebody who started the game about 2 years ago, I figured I I'll do this to try to help people out. So, when choosing your first deck, I don't have every single standard deck, I only have like 5. So I'm having to use one of my premium decks. You mainly have 3 different types of decks. You have your aggro style, which is represented by Riser and MLB. You have your control style decks, which is like my premium Messiah, and then you have your combo slash defensive style decks, which is also represented by Link Joker. Now, some decks might fill more than one spot. I sadly do not have standard Messiahs, because they do work a little bit differently. You can't lock your opponent's field anymore, but I'm actually working on getting a Deleters deck. Also, I'm getting a 7 Seas deck, so anyway, that's not important right now. So, anyway, now when getting into, like Vanguard or something, the first question to ask yourself is, what playstyle do I like best? Now, for me personally, I'm an aggro player. I like being able to hit big numbers, get lots of attacks, and that's just my personal style. Like my Shadow Paladin's my PBD build, which is still getting worked on. I've been trying to upgrade things slowly. PBD is still like $20. I'm probably gonna have to wait till Christmas to get him. And then I've been like experimenting online, trying to figure out ratios for PBO and whatever else. But, PBD is like aggro and kind of control in a way, depending on the variant you build. I know, it's also very, like, you hit big numbers, but that's not important right now. So for me, decks that can hit big numbers and get lots of attacks and are more my style. So something like Shadows, PBD. Maybe they're not the best aggro, but it's personal. I don't know. Something about Shadows has always drawn me to them. MLB, he can hit pretty big numbers, especially Even on like your first grade 3 ride, you're able to get like three force markers in one turn. One from the ride, and then you get two from putting 2 cards into soul. So this guy's very so he's able to hit big numbers, and overall there's a lot of pressure. Risers and also Aquaphors, I just didn't have enough room to fit them on the camera. Risers rely on, restanding rear guards to get multiple attacks in, and the fact that they have the Excel gift marker only boosts it. Now, in terms of so that's more aggro. Big numbers, lots of attacks, or just not big, like attacks with big numbers. So I want to move this out of the way so Link Joker can get a little light. So control. So now for control, are you more of a fan of being able to control what your opponent can and cannot do on their turn? So, for example, do you want to try to guard restrict them? Actually, that's more your turn, but that can also count. So, do you want to keep it so they can only guard with grade 2s, or sentinel restrict them where they're unable to, guard with perfect guards, and when you're hitting attacks of like 90 some thousand, and the S-decks can't get up that high, you're screwed, especially Night Rose with that darn dragon that gets I think it's cards and drop times 2. Do you like being able to make locking down their field? Do you like making sure that they're not able to restand their vanguard or re-ride or call certain units? So that's more of the control aspect. Now defensive, now this would be something like dark irregulars or something like that. Do you want a deck where it's a slow build up, but then you can go for an all-out attack? You have lots of cards in your hand, and you're basically able to ensure you get little to no damage every turn. Link Joker does a pretty good job with control and defense. At least the premium version. I think standard became more of a control aggro style deck, but I'm not too experienced with it. At least with the premium, Messiahs, they were able to lock down your opponent's field. I've had times where I faced somebody in a premium match, and I locked down their whole field. They would have their full 6, circles filled. I locked everything but their vanguard, which then I made a joke saying, I'm going to magically turn this into a deleter to delete your vanguard, and basically screw your whole field over. Obviously, that was a joke, but do you want to, are you more the type of person you want to play the defensive grind and have lots of cards, get average attacks, but make sure that you're not having to worry about taking that much damage? Now, let's say you played a different card game before coming to Vanguard. I know a lot of people probably played Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon or Magic or something like that. Now, for me, as I've said on this channel 1,000 times over, I have been, I played Yu-Gi-Oh! Before I officially came to Vanguard. I still play on occasion, but it's not really my gig anymore. So, I was always an aggro player in Yu-Gi-Oh! Playing decks like Pendulums when they first came out, and Cybers. Cybers Code Talkers are very aggro. Combo, but aggro. So when I came over to Vanguard, my first deck was, the Chronojet Time Leap deck, which admittedly sucks, but whatever. And then I expanded more And so, if you're coming from a game that, another card game that your style, then just transfer that over to this. Then you just transfer it over, seeing what like clans and decks fit that style, which you can narrow it down. You could easily search up like aggro clans or like clans that focus on combos or something like that. Now, if you're not experienced, now if you never played a card game and Vanguard is your first, what I would recommend is you try out like all three types of styles. It can be online. It can be if you have a friend that plays and they have like a deck for each. You could ask them to maybe try each deck to see which one fits your style. But I really don't know what else to say aside from. I kind of hope this helps. I know I probably didn't describe everything the best I could. But I'm kind of coming at it from my own personal experience because I played Yu-Gi-Oh! I was always an aggro style player. So I knew I wanted aggressive decks at my command in Vanguard. So, you can even try it online. And maybe just look up deck profiles for each deck that has what you're looking for, and then you can try it online, and then you could possibly work on building it from there. So, anyway, I kind of hope this was a good first introduction to how to choose like your first deck. I'm probably gonna label like choosing your first deck part 1, and then the next video choosing your first clan will be part 2. So you'll have, that's what I was kind of saying. This video will be more helpful if you watch it first compared to the second one, because if you're able to narrow down your style, then you can easily just find the clans that focus on that, and then you can do more research to find which ones you want. Anyway, though, so in terms of videos coming up, I'll be having the part 2 to this, being the choosing your first clan. And then after that, maybe by the time this video's up, before I do the second part, I'll have my MLB deck finished. So I'll be able to do a profile on that. At some point, I know there's probably 1,000 videos, but I actually want to go over the Ultimate Guard boulders, what I personally think of them. And anyway, though, so that's about it for right now. And then after I do my boulder video, I want to do some more like getting into Vanguard series stuff, probably like how to choose, I don't know, after the decks, like maybe basic rulings or maybe a sleeve choice, I don't know. But I am going to be doing a deck profile of my 7Cs when I get it. And then when I get deleters, I'll probably go over that as well. But anyway, that's about it for now, guys. So I'll catch you in the next video. See ya.